to this training. In today's class, we are going to answer one important question. What is virtual assistance and who is a virtual assistant? But before you click away or assume this is just another basic VA lesson, let me give you one assurance. By the time you finish this training, virtual assistants will no longer look confusing to you. You will understand why. Even after going through a VA class, you may still enter a job platform and feel confused by the job descriptions you are seeing. Most importantly, you will understand one of the biggest lies many beginners have believed about virtual assistants. And that lie is this: virtual assistant is one single skill you learn once, and after that, you can start applying for every VA job. That is not true. And I do not blame you if you have been thinking that way. It is not your fault. These days, when you come online, there are so many trainings with different promises and different titles. You will see things like virtual assistant training, virtual assistant class, full virtual assistant course, 2 weeks virtual assistant training, 4 weeks VA training. So it is easy to assume that once you go through one of those classes, you can start applying for any VA job and get hired. It is easy to believe that virtual assistance is one straight skill you learn once, and after that, every VA job will make sense to you. But that is where the confusion starts. So in this lesson, I want us to slow down and understand it properly. By the end of this training, you will understand the real meaning of virtual assistants and who a virtual assistant is in a way that helps you know where to start, what to learn, and how to stop applying blindly. Now, let's begin. A virtual assistant is someone who supports a business, brand, professional, or organization remotely. In simple terms, you are helping someone get work done, but you are not physically present with them. You may be in Lagos, and your client may be in Canada. You may be in London, supporting a business owner whose customers are in different parts of the UK. You may be in Accra, Nairobi, Manchester, Abuja, or any other city, while the person you are supporting is somewhere else entirely. As long as the work can be done online, you can support them from where you are. That is what makes it virtual. But this is where many beginners miss it. Virtual assistance is not one fixed task. It is not one job description that looks the same everywhere. It simply means you are helping a business, brand, professional, or organization get something done remotely. So the real question is not just, how do I become a virtual assistant? The better question is, what exactly do I want to virtually assist a business to do? Because you are not assisting in the air. You are assisting with a task. You can virtually assist a business with social media. You can virtually assist with customer support. You can virtually assist with automation. You can virtually assist with lead generation. You can virtually assist with email management. You can virtually assist with calendar management. You can virtually assist with online research. You can virtually assist with data entry. You can virtually assist with project support. You can virtually assist with course upload and student support. You can virtually assist with e-commerce support. You can virtually assist with Airbnb support. You can virtually assist with admin and operations support. So when someone says, I want to become a virtual assistant, the next thing you should ask is, what kind of support do I want to provide? That question is important because the kind of support you want to provide will determine the skills you need to learn. Now let us make it practical. Most businesses that hire virtual assistants have a large part of their operations online. That is why they can hire someone who is not physically present with them. Think about a coach, consultant, or course creator. You may have seen a coach on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube talking about a course, training, program, or service. That content is part of their visibility. They are using the internet to attract people, educate people, build trust, and get people interested in what they offer. Now imagine you decide to buy their course. You may not go to their physical office. You click a link, you pay online. After payment, you may receive access through your email. The course may be inside an LMS platform or online learning platform. The videos, worksheets, reminders, community, and support may all be online. Even if you want to book a call with a coach, you may book through a scheduling link and meet on Zoom or Google Meet. So look at what happened there. The visibility is online. The payment is online. The course access is online. The meeting is online. The reminders are online. The student support is online. Now imagine that coach or course creator becomes busy. They may need support with different parts of that online process. Someone may help create simple graphics and schedule content for visibility. Someone may help upload course lessons and organize learning materials. Someone may help send reminders to students. Someone may help manage the community. Someone may help respond to student inquiries. Someone may help organize student records in Google Sheets. Someone may help set up a simple automation so that when a new student registers, their details are saved and they receive a welcome email. These are different kinds of support. If you are doing any of these from your own location, you are assisting that person virtually. That is virtual assistance. Let us use another example. Think about an e-commerce business. Maybe they sell clothes, skincare products, hair products, home items, digital products, or any other product. The customer sees the product online. The customer sends a message online. The customer places an order online. Payment may happen online. The order may be tracked online. The customer may ask questions through WhatsApp, Instagram DM, email, or website chat. Now imagine the business owner is receiving many messages every day. People are asking, how much is this? Is this still available? How long will delivery take? Can I pay now? Has my order been sent? At some point, the business owner may need support. They may need someone to respond to inquiries. They may need someone to update order records. They may need someone to organize customer details. They may need someone to track product information. They may need someone to follow up with customers. They may need someone to create simple product graphics. They may need someone to schedule product posts. They may need someone to research competitors or collect customer feedback. Again, if you are helping with any of these tasks remotely, you are assisting that business virtually. Let us bring it even closer. Imagine someone needs help responding to business WhatsApp messages. WhatsApp is an online tool. If the person gives you the right access, rules, and instructions, and you help respond to customer messages from another location, you are virtually assisting with that task. You may not be in the same shop. You may not be sitting beside the business owner, but you are helping them handle part of their online work. That is virtual assistance. So when you hear the word virtual assistant, do not only think about one job. Think about online support. Think about a business that has work happening online and needs someone to help manage part of it. The work is online. The communication is online. The files are online. The meetings are online. The inquiries are online. The visibility is online. The tasks may be online. So if you want to support businesses virtually, you need to understand how online work happens. This is why you cannot say you want to become a virtual assistant and refuse to learn online tools. Now, let us connect this to job applications. One major reason many beginners struggle on job platforms is that they apply for VA jobs without understanding the actual task behind the job title. A job post may say, "We are looking for a virtual assistant to manage our inbox, schedule meetings, organize files, and update our CRM." But because you only know the title, virtual assistant, you may send a general application that does not speak to what the client asked for. You may write something like, "I am a hardworking virtual assistant. I can help your business grow. I am available and ready to work." That may sound nice, but it does not answer the client's real need. The client is asking for inbox management, scheduling, file organization, and CRM updates. Your application is saying something else. That is why sometimes the job is speaking one language and the beginner is replying with another language. The job is asking for specific support, but the beginner is applying with the assumption that the title virtual assistant is enough. It is not enough. A client does not hire you just because you call yourself a virtual assistant. A client hires you because you can help them do something. So you need to understand the task behind the title. Now, if you are just starting and wondering where to begin, this is where foundational VA skills come in. Foundational VA skills are the basic skills that help you understand how remote work happens. Some people also call them general VA skills. They are not advanced niche skills. They are the foundation. They help you understand how businesses communicate, organize information, share files, manage tasks, hold meetings, respond to customers, and work with online tools. Foundational VA skills include Google Work collaboration tools like Gmail, Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Forms, Google Calendar, and Google Meet. You need them because many online businesses use these tools to send emails, store files, create documents, collect information, schedule meetings, and collaborate with teams. Foundational VA skills also include communication. As a VA, you need to know how to write clearly, ask questions properly, give updates, respond professionally, and follow instructions. You need file organization because clients may ask you to organize folders, rename files, share links, arrange documents, or manage access to files. You need email management because many businesses receive inquiries, updates, invoices, client messages, and important information through email. You need calendar management because meetings, appointments, reminders, interviews, and calls are part of online work. You need basic project management tools like Trello, Asana, ClickUp, Notion, or Monday.com because many remote teams use them to assign tasks and track progress. You need online research because clients may ask you to find information, compare tools, gather leads, look for contact details, or prepare simple summaries. You need data entry and spreadsheet organization because many business records are arranged in Google Sheets, Excel, Airtable, or other tools. You need basic customer relationship skills because you may need to respond to inquiries, follow up with people, or support customers professionally. You need basic Canva skills because some small businesses may ask for simple graphics, flyers, slides, certificates, or social media visuals. You need basic social media skills because many businesses use social media for visibility, content, engagement, and customer connection. You also need to understand how to use AI tools responsibly. AI can help you draft, summarize, organize ideas, improve your writing, and work faster. But AI should support your thinking, not replace it. These foundational skills do not mean you are a specialist in everything. They simply give you a strong base. They help you understand the language of remote work. So when a client mentions files, links, forms, sheets, task boards, meetings, captions, email drafts, customer inquiries, or workflows, you are not completely lost. Now, I want you to check yourself honestly. If someone asked you today to schedule a meeting, can you do it? If someone asked you to create a simple Google form, can you do it? If someone asked you to organize information in Google Sheets, can you do it? If someone asked you to create a simple Canva design, can you do it? If someone asked you to research something online and present it clearly, can you do it? If your answer is no to many of these, that does not mean you cannot become a virtual assistant. It only means you need to start from the foundation. Now, let us say you are confused and you do not know whether to go into social media, customer support, automation, admin support, lead generation, or project support. That is normal. Many beginners feel that way. This is one reason you should not rush into a niche too quickly. Start with foundational skills first. As you learn and practice them, you will begin to notice what you enjoy and what you are naturally better at. If you enjoy organizing files, meetings, emails, and documents, admin support may make sense for you. If you enjoy replying to people and helping customers, customer support may interest you. If you enjoy graphics, captions, content calendars, and scheduling, social media support may be a good direction. If you enjoy research and spreadsheets, you may consider research, data entry, or lead generation. If you enjoy tools, systems, and workflows, you may later explore automation or operations support. This is how foundational skills help you choose a niche. They give you exposure. They help you practice. They help you notice where your interest is. They also help you understand what businesses actually need. Let us use social media support as an example. If you decide that you want to help businesses manage their social media, your next question should be, what do I need to learn to support a social media page properly? You may need to learn how to use Canva for simple graphics. You may need to learn how to write basic captions. You may need to understand how different social platforms work. You may then need to learn how to organize a content calendar. You may then need to learn how to schedule posts. You may then need to learn how to save content ideas. You may then need to learn how to organize files in Google Drive. You may now need to learn how to track content in Google Sheets or a project management tool. Once you identify these things, your learning becomes clearer. You are no longer just saying, I want to learn VA. You are saying, I want to support businesses with social media. So these are the skills I need to build. That is learning with direction. Let us use online research and lead generation as another example. If you decide that this is the area you want to explore, then you need to ask, what do I need to learn to do this well? You may need to learn how to search properly on Google. You may need to learn how to verify information. You may need to learn how to find company websites, emails, LinkedIn profiles, or contact pages. You may need to learn how to organize information in Google Sheets. You may need to learn how to avoid duplicate records. You may need to learn how to present your research clearly. Again, you are no longer learning randomly. You now understand the skills connected to the support you want to provide. This is what I want you to take from this lesson. You do not become a strong virtual assistant by collecting random courses. You become better by understanding the kind of support businesses need, learning the skills behind that support, practicing the tools, and positioning yourself properly. So what should you do from here? First, understand that virtual assistance is a method of working. It means assisting someone remotely. Second, understand that the work must be connected to a task. You need to know what you are helping the business do. Third, build your foundational VA skills. Do not skip them. Practice Gmail, use Google Drive, create Google Docs, practice Google Sheets, create simple forms, schedule meetings, use Google Meet, try Trello or Asana, practice Canva, use AI tools responsibly, do simple online research, organize information in a spreadsheet, write sample emails, create small samples for yourself. Do not just watch lessons, practice until the tools begin to make sense. Fourth, as you practice, begin to observe what you enjoy and what you are good at. That is where your niche can begin to form. You may start as a general virtual assistant or admin support assistant, using your foundational skills to handle basic tasks. Then later, as you gain clarity and experience, you can choose a specific area and go deeper. You can choose social media support. You can choose customer support. You can choose automation. You can choose project support. You can choose lead generation. You can choose course support. You can choose any area that matches your interest, your strengths, and the kind of businesses you want to support. But do not start with the mindset that virtual assistant is just one course. That mindset will confuse you. Start by understanding what virtual assistance really means. It is remote support. It is online business support. It is helping a business get something done from your own location. And the key question is, what exactly do I want to help businesses do virtually? Once you answer that question, your learning becomes clearer, your profile becomes clearer, your applications become clearer, the kind of jobs you apply for becomes clearer, and job descriptions will no longer look so foreign because you now understand the skills behind the title. So now that you understand what virtual assistance is and how it connects to online business support, your next step is simple. Start picking your foundational VA skills one after the other. Learn them, practice them, use them, build confidence with them. Then allow those skills to guide you into the area you may want to focus on later. If you are new to this channel, click the subscribe button so you can get more beginner-friendly virtual assistant trainings. In the next lessons, we will continue breaking down the foundational skills you need and how to start learning them step by step. Thank you for watching.